What if the secret to living past 100 wasn't in your medicine cabinet, but right there on your plate? In Japan, where centenarians are far more common than in the US, there lived a remarkable man, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. He practiced medicine until age 100 and lived joyfully until 105. No strict diets, no expensive pills, no trendy health hacks, just simple foods, consistent daily rhythms, and a deep joy in small things. While the average lifespan in the US is around 76 years, in Okinawa, Japan, it's 84, and many live well past 100, still walking, gardening, and enjoying life with strength and clarity. So, what's their secret? Today on Senior Health Wise, we'll reveal 5 timeless principles this legendary doctor followed. Easy habits that can protect your muscles, fuel your brain, support digestion, and add vitality to your later years. Let's dive in. 1. Eat until you're 80% full. In many parts of the US, and we grow up hearing the same messages at every meal. Finish your plate, don't waste food, get your money's worth. But in Okinawa, where some of the world's longest living people reside, a very different philosophy is passed down through generations. Hara Hachi Bu, which means eat until you are 80% full. It sounds simple, almost too simple. But for Dr. Hinohara, who lived to 105, it was a daily practice that helped him maintain energy, clarity, and lightness, even into his 90s. When you stop eating just before you're completely full, you reduce inflammation, lower oxidative stress on your organs, help your body digest food more easily, and prevent the slow weight gain that creeps in over the years. Even researchers at the National Institute on Aging have confirmed that moderate calorie restriction is strongly linked to longer lifespan and better metabolic function. Doris grew up in Ohio. Her parents survived the Depression, so wasting food was never an option. Even when she felt full, she'd keep eating, just a few more bites. By her late 60s, she started feeling bloated, tired after meals, and noticed her weight slowly climbing despite eating healthy. Then she learned about Hara Hachi Bu from a friend at her senior yoga class. Curious, she tried one small shift. She started pausing mid-meal and asking herself, am I still hungry, or just eating out of habit? Within a few weeks, Doris noticed less bloating, more energy after lunch, and even a little weight loss without dieting. But more than anything, she felt in control again, not ruled by food, not feeling guilty. You don't need a new diet. You need a new rhythm, one that respects your body's signals instead of overriding them. 2. Add plant proteins. In the West, many seniors believe that protein means meat, steak, chicken, maybe eggs. But in Japan, particularly among the long-living Okinawan elders, protein often comes from something much simpler: plants. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, who lived to 105, was a strong believer in plant-based proteins, especially tofu. He ate it almost every day, praising its lightness and how well it supported his digestion and energy levels. Soy-based foods like tofu, miso, and edamame offer complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids, just like meat. But they also come with added benefits: isoflavones that reduce inflammation and support heart health, prebiotic fiber that helps digestion and feeds good gut bacteria, and zero saturated fat, which is easier on aging arteries. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition link regular soy consumption with lower cholesterol, better bone health, and even reduced risk of cognitive decline in seniors. Harold, a retired firefighter from Michigan, always thought tofu was bland food for vegetarians. He'd heard rumors that soy wasn't good for men and never gave it a second thought. But at a checkup, his doctor warned him about rising cholesterol and early signs of joint inflammation. Reluctantly, Harold decided to make a small change. He started swapping out red meat twice a week for a tofu stir-fry, seasoned with garlic, ginger, and bok choy. After just 3 weeks, his blood pressure dropped, his joints felt less stiff, and, surprisingly, he actually enjoyed the flavor. Now, tofu is a regular guest at his dinner table, not because he has to eat it, but because he wants to. You don't have to become vegetarian, but by adding in a few servings of tofu, edamame, or even lentils each week, you'll be supporting your muscles, your heart, and your longevity, all at once. Balance isn't about cutting everything out. It's about adding the right things in. 3. Include fermented foods. In the Western world, probiotics are often sold in shiny capsules and fancy yogurt drinks. But in Okinawa, they come in a much humbler, time-honored form: fermented foods. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara began nearly every morning with a simple cup of warm miso soup, not for flavor or nostalgia, but for what he called a daily gift to the gut. He believed, and research supports, that a healthy gut was essential to healthy aging. Naturally fermented options like miso, natto, pickled vegetables, and fermented seaweed are rich in live probiotics that balance your gut microbiome, digestive enzymes that break down food more efficiently, and anti-inflammatory compounds that support immune function and brain health. These aren't just gut helpers, they're full-body defenders. A balanced gut has been linked to improved mood, sleep, digestion, and even cognitive clarity. Eileen, a retired librarian from Oregon, had struggled with gut issues for years: bloating, gas, irregularity. She tried every over-the-counter solution: fiber powders, enzyme pills, expensive probiotics. Nothing seemed to stick. Then, at a local health workshop, she was introduced to traditional fermented foods. Curious but skeptical, she decided to start small. Each morning, she added just 1 tablespoon of miso paste to warm water, sipping it slowly like tea. By week 2, Eileen noticed her bloating was gone, her digestion felt smoother, and she no longer felt that heavy sensation after meals. She didn't change the rest of her diet, just one small habit, and it worked. Today she rotates between miso, sauerkraut, and pickled carrots she makes at home with her granddaughter. What began as a gut fix became a bonding ritual. No need to overthink it. 1 small serving a day is enough to shift your gut and your energy. Just remember, always choose naturally fermented, not vinegar pickled. When your gut is happy, your whole body feels it, from your joints to your brain to your mood. 4. Choose smart carbs. Carbs have become a bad word in many American households. Low carb, no carb, keto, sugar-free. For seniors especially, it's common to hear advice like avoid starches or cut out all bread and potatoes. But in Okinawa, home to some of the world's healthiest elders, carbs are celebrated, not feared. Their one carb source? Purple sweet potatoes. And they make up over 60% of the traditional Okinawan diet. Japanese sweet potatoes aren't just colorful, they're rich in anthocyanins, antioxidants that protect your heart and blood vessels, packed with fiber, stabilizing blood sugar and aiding digestion, loaded with potassium and vitamin C, supporting muscle strength and immune health, and low on the glycemic index, meaning no sugar crashes. Even Dr. Hinohara chose sweet potatoes over white rice. He believed they were gentle on the body, strong in protection. Gary was a former trucker from Kansas, recently diagnosed as pre-diabetic. He followed his doctor's advice and cut out all carbs. No potatoes, no bread, no fruit. At first, he lost a little weight, but his energy dropped, his mood dipped, and his cravings got worse. A dietitian at his local VA clinic offered a different view. Not all carbs are bad. Let's bring in the good ones. She suggested steamed purple sweet potatoes. Simple, unprocessed, and rich in nutrients. Gary was hesitant, but gave it a shot. He added half a cup to lunch, replacing his usual white rice or bread. By week 3, his blood sugar readings stabilized. He no longer needed a nap every afternoon, and for the first time in months, he didn't feel deprived. He even started growing sweet potatoes in his backyard, now part of his afternoon routine and source of pride. Don't fear carbs. Choose smart ones, like sweet potatoes, lentils, or whole oats. Let your body experience how real food can support real energy, not take it away. 5. Live light, smile often. Food is powerful, but as Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara taught, longevity isn't only about what's on your plate. It's about the rhythm of your life. He didn't follow a strict diet, nor did he count calories or obsess over macros. Instead, he embraced a life of light routines, mental curiosity, and joy in small moments. He walked upstairs instead of taking elevators, gave lectures in his 90s, and began each morning with tea, reading, and reflection. His most famous advice: to stay young, you must have fun. Marie used to track everything: calories, carbs, fat grams. Her pantry was filled with low-fat, sugar-free, and diet products. But despite all her efforts, she felt anxious around food, tired in the afternoons, and disconnected from herself. One day, her granddaughter showed her a short documentary on Japanese centenarians. Marie was fascinated. Inspired by Dr. Hinohara, she decided to shift her focus, not on controlling food, but on enjoying life. She started her day with a cup of warm miso broth and a 15-minute walk. She slowed down her meals, lighting a candle at the table and putting away distractions. In the afternoon, she made time for herbal tea and crossword puzzles. In the evenings, she started a small herb garden on her windowsill. Just watching it grow gave her peace. Within weeks, she felt more present, relaxed, and in tune with her body. "I finally feel like I'm living," she said, "not just managing." You don't need a perfect routine. You just need a gentle rhythm that feels like you. In a small town outside Flagstaff, Arizona, lives Mr. Richard Campbell, 78 years old, a former mechanic, a Vietnam vet, and a man who never thought twice about what he ate. After his wife passed away 5 years ago, Richard found himself alone, stiff, tired, and losing motivation. His doctor mentioned age-related decline, but Richard called it something else, losing his spark. One day, while watching YouTube during lunch, he stumbled upon a video about Dr. Hinohara. It wasn't flashy, no gimmicks, just simple food, joy, and a quiet rhythm. Something about it felt real. He didn't overhaul his life. He just began, starting his day with a warm cup of miso soup, eating until he felt 80% full, not stuffed, just satisfied, swapping meatloaf nights for tofu stir-fry and sweet potatoes, taking a 15-minute walk each evening while listening to old jazz. 6 months later, he wrote a letter to his son in Seattle. "I feel like myself again, not young, just present. I can bend down to feed the dog without groaning. I laugh more. I sleep better. I even started cooking again." Richard's story isn't rare, but it is remarkable because it reminds us that even in our later years, we are not done growing. We're just changing direction, with more wisdom, more intention, and maybe, just maybe, more joy. Let's take a moment to revisit the 5 gentle principles from Japan's oldest doctor, not just rules, but rhythms of longevity. 1. Eat until you're 80% full. Give your body the gift of lightness and ease. 2. Add plant proteins. Tofu, lentils, and edamame can support strength without heaviness. 3. Include fermented foods. A spoonful of miso or a few pickled veggies can change your gut. 4. Choose smart carbs, like purple sweet potatoes, that nourish and fuel your energy. 5. Live light, smile often. Find your rhythm with small joys and movement every day. These aren't dramatic changes. They're simple steps that can help you feel stronger, think clearer, and age with purpose. And remember, like Mr. Richard in Arizona, you don't have to do it all at once. Just start with one small shift. Have you tried any of these habits before? Have you or someone you love found healing or energy in a simple change? Share your story in the comments. Your words might inspire someone else on their journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing to Senior Healthwise. We share new videos each week to help you live stronger, longer, and wiser. One habit at a time. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new tip or inspiring story. Until next time, eat well, move gently, and keep smiling. From all of us at Senior Healthwise, stay wise, stay well.